What's up everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome. My name is Piper Elizabeth and this right here is my channel. There's a subscribe button and a bell down below. Go ahead and click both. You can join the family and get notified every Tuesday at 2 when I upload a brand new video. I don't know what that hand signal was, but before I get into today's video, I want to tell you guys that I found a new website, which I will link down below. It's called Blk Grn, Blk Grn, yeah, Blk Grn. It tells you green products that are black owned, and somewhere I read that they're all women owned, black women owned, but I can't find it now. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that one. But if you've seen the Target commercial for Honey Pot, the Honey Pot, that's on there. There is a black girl sunscreen that I'm going, I don't know what just got in the back of my throat. Whew. Now that we cleared that out, it is black owned and green, so it's like non-toxic, good for the environment type stuff. I'm going to be reviewing the black girl sunscreen pretty soon. I think I ordered it. I can't figure out what I did, like, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I think I ordered it. If it doesn't come soon, then I'm just going to order it again. And if I have to, then I have to. I'm really excited about that because I'm actually allergic to sunscreen. So yeah, so go check out Blk Grn. I will link it down below in the description box. If you guys want me to try something else on there, go ahead and reach out to me on my socials. As always, I will put them right here, and then we will just pop into today's video. Yes, I almost just whacked myself in the face with that. $24.95, and it is worth all $25. It's called Unashamed. I feel like I'm moving this around too much. I don't know how to hold this book. Don't look at my fingers, my fingernails. Unashamed, Musings of a Fat Black Muslim by Leah Vernon. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Leah. Ouch! Okay. Yes, now that I have dropped it 4 million times and hit my finger, this is the book. It was such an amazing read. Okay, woman to woman, real quick. If you identify as a woman, if you are a woman, get this book. It is literally worth every single coin, okay? I feel like I've grown so much from reading this, and it took me 5 days to read it. It's so complex, but it's such a great read. And when you read it, it all makes sense, but when you try to describe it to somebody else, it like doesn't make sense. So I might jump around here a little bit, but it makes sense in the book. We'll just get into the book. I'm not gonna give you guys too many spoilers because I really want you guys to get the book and read the book. Like, that's the moral of the whole story, is that you should get this book because it's literally amazing, and no matter how well I describe it to you, like, you won't get out of it what I got out of it if you don't read it. I hope that made sense, and I don't know why I'm out of breath. So the point of what I'm trying to tell you at the moment is her whole book is about her life growing up as a fat black Muslim and where she is today. Not in the sense of like her career, but more so where she is as a person, which I think is great and so powerful. So her mom converted when she started dating somebody who was Muslim. She raised all of her kids within the Islam faith. Her dad is like kind of not really in her life, not really there, makes fun of her and her faith, slips her pork because she's not supposed to eat pork, slips her pork when she doesn't know, when she's over there. Like, he says horrible things to her. Her mom says things to her about her weight. She talks about how her mom kind of had men in and out of the house. Her mom was married multiple times and divorced. They were homeschooled because her mom, she says, was a very big control freak. She also talks about how one day, okay, so this is probably one of the funniest moments for me at least, is in the book. She talks about how they went to like a grocery store, they were in a parking lot, and they were in the car and the windows were down, and a man walks up to the window and like stares at the kids for a minute, and then she has like 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, all from different dads. So this man walks up to the window, stares in the car, looks at all of them, then looks to her mother and says, "Beautiful kids," walks away. Now the mom turns around and says, "That's my husband." And I was like, what? Like, That was the last thing I ever saw coming in that moment. Like, I was like, the mom just turns around and is like, yeah, we're married. Like, that's my husband. So he ends up moving in and he's like super abusive, which is not funny. But just her description of stuff is hilarious. I really enjoy it because that's my humor. When I have pain or I'm going through something, like I will joke about that stuff and it's completely not funny. But that is definitely her whole take on this book, which I find hilarious. And then she grows up, she gets to high school, she goes to college, and in college I think it's her friend's little brother. They end up really hitting it off and she loses her virginity to him. And then she has this internal struggle of like, my religion says I should wait till marriage, as most religions do, but I didn't, and now I'm a bad Muslim. Am I gonna go to hell? Like, I'm not gonna get into heaven. It's just this whole big internal conflict that she has with herself. So she ends up marrying the guy. He was like 18, 19 when they got married, and he's like horrible to her. They have many disputes. The cops are called. She actually spends one night in jail, which the whole story that she paints, like, it's horrible the way that they treat her there. But what's funny, which is completely not funny, but funny in the same way, so she's like, when I get nervous I have to poop. And so she talks about trying to poop in front of this guard because they stand outside the doorway. Like, there's no door, but he like stands outside the doorway. And she's like explaining how she like can't poop in front of him, and it's hilarious. She gets out and she goes to therapy and stuff, and so when she goes to therapy they diagnose her with anxiety, depression, and a bipolar disorder. She explains how with the bipolar disorder it's her way of coping as a kid. This is the part that I thought was so real and hits home, and I don't know if it's just like, I don't know if it's a just me thing, but I've talked to some of my other Black friends and maybe it's just a Black woman thing, but there's a moment I feel like in everybody's life when they're Black that they wish they were white. She talks about how as a kid she formed an alternate reality for herself where she was white, where she was skinny, blonde hair, blue eyes, pretty. She wasn't in the world that she was in. So as she grew older, she still tried to live in there and strive for perfection, which I also thought was so real because I personally know I strive for perfection. Like with even videos, like I will stay up, edit everything. I'm like, nope, that's not right, that edit's not right. I will watch it like 12 times through, each time find something different to critique, where I'm finally just like, you have to just upload this and go with what you have. And so the way she describes like why she strives for perfection is to a T why I strive to perfection, kind of. There's one part that I'm like, not really. Then she talks about how she created this alternate world where like she wasn't fat, she wasn't Black, she wasn't a Muslim, and so when she has to exit out of that world is when she has a bunch of anger. So why she went this woman, okay, why she went to jail is because her and her husband got into a dispute. She's like, I just, because she had been going to therapy before that dispute, and she was like trying to be calm, and then she goes, I just got so mad, and she like jumped on top of him and just started wailing on him, and she's like, I just tried to punch him wherever I could get in. And so I just imagine this woman like getting on top of him and like punching him like that. It's like not funny at all because abuse is not funny, but like her description was hilarious. And then one day, okay, I don't think all men are bad, okay? Don't get it twisted, okay? I don't think all men are bad. But the funniest part, this man, okay, her husband, tell me why I was like, been there. He comes home one day and he's like talking to her and goes, everybody at my work cheats, and how would you feel if like I cheated? And she's like, don't cheat on me. What kind of conversation do you have with like your husband? Like, how would you feel if I cheated on you? Like, I feel that's a given, but maybe that's just me. Then he ends up cheating on her, and she like finds out, and he does the whole, oh, you're crazy, why'd you go through my phone thing. Read it because it's hilarious. She finds out, she's like in a rampage. She's like, don't cheat on me again. So they try to work through it. It's their 8-year wedding anniversary, and they are going on a trip to Mexico. This man, like, it's really not funny, but it's funny in a way. Because her life, sometimes her stories, I'm like, there is no way. Okay, so anyway, so they're going to Mexico, right? They're still trying to work through, but they're not really working through it, to be honest with you. And he's still cheating. And so they get to the airport, they're waiting to board their plane, and this man goes, I want a divorce. In the middle of the airport, on their way to go to Mexico for their 8-year anniversary. So she goes to the bathroom, she cries, and then she goes on the trip with him. And when you, okay, that sounds crazy, but when you like read the book and you get to that part, you understand why she went on that trip and why it happened the way it did. But like, this man, and so he's like, no, we should just enjoy the trip, and like comes over and like cuddles her and stuff. It was like way too much. But she talks about throughout the entire book about her like conflict with her own religion. She starts to pull away from her religion. She doesn't go as much, she doesn't pray as much. It's very real, that's the thing. Like, it's not just to her religion. Everything she talks about, I feel like you see in every other religion as well. Like, she talks about little boys and girls getting molested, getting raped, sexually abused. She talks about misuse of money, misuse of power, the double standard for men and women. So she gets frustrated with that, and it's so real because I feel like it is in every religion, and she talks about that it's not just Islam. And then people push it under the rug and people don't want to talk about it, and then you move people to different places and you hide it, and then if you talk about it, you're the problem. And so that's kind of why she started to pull away. So then after she got the divorce and she's living alone, she's single again, she kind of goes on like a, I'm trying to, for lack of a better word, because I can't really think of any right now, on a hoe phase. What I mean by that is she stops covering up as much, and then she also has times where she's not wearing her hijab. I really hope I'm saying that right, and if I'm not, I'm really, really sorry. If you read it, you understand it. She does a great job of explaining where she is. After the divorce and she's exploring, you know, herself and everything, she's always wanted to be a blogger and a model. She finally like puts herself out there, does a photo shoot, puts it on her own blog, and people catch wind of it, and it's, you know, circulating, people love it. So then her model career kind of takes off from there a little bit, and I will link her Instagram. So she's an Instagram influencer and a model, and I will link her Instagram also down below. And then there's one incident actually that I talk about because she's at a photo shoot, and it's one of the biggest ones she's ever been to. She walks in and she feels super insecure, just, you know, going through, you're fat, you don't deserve to be here, da da da, in her brain. She says in the book, sometimes I do this funny thing where when I feel insecure, I pretend that I'm super confident, which I have done like my entire life. My parents helped me with this. So like if you know me, you know that I love Beyonce, but Beyonce is my alter ego. So when I feel insecure, or I feel awkward, or I feel like I don't belong in a room, I put on my alter ego and I go out there and I am confident. It sounds crazy, but it really helps in a way, and it's helped me grow into the woman I am today. And so hearing her say that, and that she does that, is like, oh, you're not the only one who does that, and she's an amazing human being, so I would love that. Buy this, it's worth every single coin. Read it. I think there's like 14 or 15 chapters, so if you read a chapter a night, you're done in like 2 weeks. It's not preachy, that's the thing. She's not like, you should do this or you should do that. Like, she just talks about her truth. And then at the end, she actually talks about why she was not going to put her face on it, put a different name on it, because she didn't want to hurt people around her, and she also didn't want people to know about, you know, all of her struggles. This is the thing. She doesn't paint herself in this like beautiful light that she's such an amazing woman. Like, she tells her raw truth in here and points where she messed up, and she talks about that in the epilogue. So I encourage you to actually read the whole book, including the epilogue. So yeah, I would, it's like literally with every coin. Even if you're not a woman, if you're a man, this might help you understand a woman a little bit more. Like 100%, 100%. Get this. I actually really enjoyed reading this for you guys. I love reading and writing, so if you guys want to see more, and maybe like once a month, I'll try to read 4 or 5 books in a month, and then give you guys some more Black authors to read. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see some more book reviews. I know a lot of people like books. I don't know, I'm geeky, I'm nerdy, so I like that. Thanks for watching. I'm so excited for this channel because there are so many Black owned businesses, and I just want to like it's honestly overwhelming. There's a lot of great things coming up soon, so you're gonna want to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified of what's coming up. And I'm gonna breathe because, oh my lord, I think I talk too fast, but I really don't know how to slow myself down. Anyways, peace out, Girl Scout. See you next time.